Because I just want to go across to my colleague Amitoj, who's in Kairana this morning. And Amitoj, counting has begun, and this is the one seat that we're focusing on more than any other. It's also the seat where we saw, along with Maharashtra, many complaints, during polling about VVPATs failing, and you had a repoll ordered in 73 booths there, etc. But finally, that is behind us, and counting has begun.
Well, absolutely. Let's be very clear about this. You have a situation where there are about 1,300 or so booths, out of which 70 or so had repolling. That's because at the Election Commission felt that in these booths, more than 1.5 hours voting had stopped for that time frame. But when it comes to the rest of the booths, remember there were almost about 380 booths where there was a problem with VVPATs. VVPATs were replaced. In those remaining approximately 310 booths, repolling hasn't happened. So how will that affect it? Did the people actually wait at a time when Ramzan was going on, Roza was going on? The women that we spoke to, the Muslim women, they said that we're not going to come back. They actually did leave. But that was a booth where for 2 hours there was no voting happening because 3 VVPAT machines back-to-back had failed. So it's going to be very difficult to actually get a sense of that. Now both sides, obviously the BJP, Mriganka Singh, she reacted Nidhi a little later. The BJP did complain, but they reacted way after the Mahagarbandhan or the opposition, the united opposition reacted. It is only when the united opposition reacted that they felt that they should also complain to the Election Commission about the fact that their voters may have returned. Therefore, there should be a situation where either voting should be extended past 6 p.m, which it was in some cases, when you talk about anyone who was standing in line, or repolling should happen. But they didn't really demand repolling. It was the united opposition that demanded repolling. Now, that's the big question. Now, just to tell you where we are out here in the Shamli district. There are 5 assembly constituencies in this parliamentary constituency, and this is where 3 of those assembly constituencies, votes from those assembly constituencies are actually being counted. The other 2 are towards Saharanpur. But Nidhi, I think you said it when you started. There is no bypoll in recent history which reflects how important the opposition unity will be. You only had a small litmus test in Gorakhpur and Phulpur, and we did speak to Keshav Prasad Maurya, the Deputy Commissioner, when he was campaigning with Yogi Adityanath, and I asked him one pertinent question: how is this going to be any different? How can you say that Kairana is going to be different from Gorakhpur or Phulpur? Do you know what he said? He said, we know we made a mistake there. We were not ready for the opposition united, and that's why we failed there. We lost that. But out here, we are ready. But I asked him specifically, what is your strategy? What do you mean you're ready? And he didn't really give me an answer. He said that was a mistake, and that's it. So I'm not so sure about the BJP's equation out here when it comes to the arithmetic, because when you take a look at the caste combination in Kairana, it's heavily stacked up against them. Even if you take the loophole of the fact that the BSP's Mayawati has basically not officially cited that she supports the united opposition candidate Tabassum Begum, even then, you have a situation where out of the 16 lakh or so votes, you have about at least 8 lakh votes that are clearly with the opposition united. If this caste equation goes through, the Jats actually vote for the RLD, which, by the way, I did speak to some farmers just randomly. We just went there and had a chat with them. Not many, a few. And it was interesting to see that 3 out of the 4 that we spoke to said they would be okay voting for the Muslim candidate, even if there has been a situation with the Muzaffarnagar riots, etc., etc. So this is really the election that I think is very different from even Gorakhpur and Phulpur. And I know you already said that simply because you have the BSP, you have the Congress, you have the Nishad Party, you have the RLD, you have basically every single party, including the SP, coming out here. And then you don't have Akhilesh Yadav of the SP coming out here to campaign. So the permutations and combinations, the nuances in this entire election reflect that whatever happens right now will actually determine what is going to happen. This is really the political laboratory of what is going to happen for the opposition in 2019. Nidhi.